at all?
I'm going to spotlight you
Cool.
so that you're the only one showing up in the to the right of your presentation. All right, you've got
Oh.
it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me with content creation. My biggest thing is trying to make content that doesn't feel like another job. So there's going to be 3 Fridays. We've got this Friday and then the next 2 Fridays that follow. Each one's going to kind of have a next segue into the next form of content. So today we're going to be talking about the system first. And then next Friday, we'll be talking about TikTok. Following Friday, we'll be getting into that Instagram and Facebook. I know some of you are probably like, why can't we do Instagram and Facebook first? There's a reason why. There's a reason why I'm doing TikTok first and then Instagram. I'll dive into that probably towards the end of why. But really starting out with content, a lot of people don't know that content is very easy to do and it's free. Like I sold all of my gym equipment just to get into real estate, not knowing how expensive this job is. Sold all $20,000 worth of gym equipment just to get into this. And then I started doubling down on social media. And now, as Vicky knows, I've handed out a handful of leads to other agents just so I can continue to make content, but I'm getting referral fees. So it's this giant system that I've developed, which we'll talk about today, is a funnel. Everything starts at the top. That's like your content. And coming down at the bottom, hopefully getting that lead. So starting out with creating content, making sure it's not your second job because we're going to develop the systems to make it easy and seamless. So a little bit about me. I do have a little bit of a real estate background. I've been doing this for a year and a half now. I actually got my license the day after Christmas of 24. That was really exciting. I just kind of got it for fun, really not knowing how many connections I'd be making, how much I'd be learning about my community. And now I'm doing content full time and having real estate as that kind of part time. What I believe is you don't need to be a content creator to get leads. What people need to do is they need to trust you. They need to get to know who you are, what you do, because at the end of the day, people want to work with you, not necessarily that you're the best brokerage or you're the best agent. I'll give you an example about that later. Today's goal, I want you to leave with repeatable content system. We're going to talk about text phone shortcuts. If you haven't heard about that, about to blow your mind today. And a simple funnel that points people where to go next. This is about building a simple system you can actually repeat. We're going to talk about how to point, shoot, and post. This is a very simple format. Next, we're going to talk about the text shortcuts. So these are something where you can type out a simple few letters and it'll populate a whole entire thread for you. Then we'll set up a link in bio, and then we'll talk about your simple funnel of how to create content that brings in attention, and your bio turns that attention into leads. Then we're going to talk about your action steps for the week. So that way next week, we're ready to rumble and really dive more into that content. Now, the lie that everyone tells you, content takes hours to create. If you've ever seen any of my content, it takes me about 10 minutes from pulling out my phone, recording what I want to record, throwing up a text shortcut, and posting it. When I started out on TikTok last September, I posted 3 times a day minimum. And it's amazing the amount of volume and attraction that you get. I'll walk down the sidewalk and people go, I love your TikTok. It's amazing, but it's just a volume game at the end of the day. You know, you might have a great personality, great presence online. That just makes things better. But you have to go through the cringe in order to do that. So it doesn't take hours. It just takes consistency and volume and a good system. Why most agents quit posting. I hear this time and time again, right? I don't have time. You know, I'm being perfect, trying to do perfection paralysis. And the little wording's a little worded up there. But then again, there's another thing. People go, nobody cares. They do. People care all the time. Some people watch your stuff, never like, never comment, never share, but they're watching. And then a lot of people don't develop a system, and that's why they go really good for about a week. And then they go, this takes forever. It just takes forever because you haven't developed a good system. The traditional content trap. They plan for hours, you edit forever, you film multiple takes, you overthink posting, or even you hire a videographer, right? You're still going over what to say, whether this is in a house or different businesses, right? You're trying to think, oh, what am I going to make today? And then you film it, you pull out your camera, you pull out your phone, your tripod, all of these things people tell you you need. You need a ring light, you need good audio. You don't. You need this, you need a cell phone. That's it. I shoot all of my content on there. I get hundreds of thousands of views and I get leads in. It's people just want real. So we're going to talk about getting out of this traditional content trap. Now, your profile is your front door. This doesn't matter if it's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, X. It's all the same. When someone watches your post, they get curious. They go instantly to your profile. Then they're going to read their bio. People can't help but to read. It's just in our nature. We're going to read what your bio says. This is your billboard. You need to make your bio creme de la creme. Talk with ChatGPT. Go over what you need to go over. I'll kind of explain why my bio says what it does. And this is just Instagram specifically. They're going to click your links in bio because specifically I have free Middle Tennessee guides right here in this link. They're going to click the link. Then they're going to take the next step. So again, everything is that funnel from watching your post to pulling up your profile, reading your bio, clicking through your links, and then taking the next step. They might do this dozens of times. People get curious, people click, then they exit out, or they get bored, or something doesn't say something right. This is all the strategy, it's psychology. And if you want to think about things in a different way, ask yourself, what do you do when you see a post that intrigues you and you go to their profile? You probably read their bio. You probably pull up their links going, where are they selling? What makes them different? Does it go straight to their website? Does it go to a link in bio? All of that is psychology. So if you find yourself doing it, chances are most of the world's also doing that on social media. So now that someone has found me, where do I want them to go next? So for my audience, it usually falls into three different buckets. This is for me. So I have one, people who live here and want local recommendations. I do a lot of content highlighting local businesses around the area. Fun fact, I don't talk about real estate at all, but in my bio, I just have licensed realtor. And I also have my name as Williamson County Living and Relocation. It's very simple. You get a lot of characters for your name. Use it wisely. Your name also populates up whenever you comment. So let's say you comment on a friend's post. Mine will say Jessie Tigges. It used to say Jessie Tigges Realtor. If you really want to hone in on that realtor aspect, go ahead, add it after your name. Just a fun little tidbit. But since I don't even talk about real estate, I still get real estate leads in. Why? Because I post so much that when someone Googles Brentwood, Tennessee, my face pops up constantly. And those are the taggings and stuff we'll talk about in the next few weeks of why that happens. I don't have a Google profile. I saw something a while ago where it was like, learn how to increase your Google profile. Like, learn how to increase your social media. Because it is a fast, easy way to just double down. There's so much of this two birds, one stone aspect that social media provides that it's the way to go instead of fighting with Google and then paying for ads. That again, social media is free. Use it. So when they get to my profile, they're going to see either people who live here and want local recommendations, or two, people thinking about moving here, right? Because they have the licensed realtor or Williamson County living in relocation. They're small little psychological pieces. Or three, local businesses that want more visibility. Yes, I get a lot of local businesses reaching out to me to come check them out. Or, hey, Jessie, we're opening up this new place. Again, that has that two bird, one stone factor of with real estate, people go, hey, where's a good gym? Well, I'm already posting about things and I already know that there's a, Crush Yard opening up or a Crunch Fitness or there's the YMCA down the road. When you start posting more about your community, it really has that trust factor and people come to you. So my link in bio points each person to the right next step. And it's all in that link right there that says beacons.ai/Jessie Tigges. We'll talk about that link in bio specifically here in a few slides. So your link in bio is the funnel, right? The content gets attention, the profile builds trust, and then your link in bio captures that lead. So what that includes too, if I'm going to go back this slide right here, just so you guys can see. Again, on my profile, it says beacons.ai. It's in that blue link right there. That link is on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. No matter what I do on the back end, when I update that link, it automatically goes to all of my social medias. That is a system. So what to include within that link in bio is free guides or resources that you have. And in order to get those free guides or resources, you just need to ask for an email. I have gotten hundreds of emails. People probably aren't all wanting to buy a house or sell a house or find a new business. They're just curious and they go, oh, all I have to do is leave an email? Sweet. So then they click the button, they get their PDF sent to them, and it's one main action. Now you can add that email to your whole entire list of email blasts that you could throw into Lofty or something like that. All of this is intertwined. This is still the system with the link in bio. Again, everything is that funnel. The next thing we're going to talk about are text shortcuts. If you've ever heard of a text shortcut, good. We're probably going to develop some more. If you haven't, there is a setting in your phone right now, whether you have an Android or Apple. I have the instructions right there that you can kind of go to. You can go up settings, you can search up shortcut, and then you can go ahead and type out what you want. So for instance, if you've ever had a friend say OMW, short for on my way, you're typing out a text OMW, and right underneath it, it'll populate the whole entire sentence on my way. And you click that. All it did was take you 3 letters to populate a whole sentence. So you can apply this for very fast content captions. So if you look at a lot of my videos and you open up the caption side, it all starts looking the same because I have a few different text shortcuts that I do. So I'm not sitting down trying to remember, hey, what should I type out for my caption? Again, the faster we can make the system, the easier it is for you to just make a video and post about it. So
Jesse, can I ask you a quick question?
yeah.
There are some questions coming into the chat box. Do you want me to do you want to pause every couple of slides and see what questions there are? Or do you want to go all the way through it and answer questions at the end? What's your preference?
This is perfect. Let's go ahead and answer some questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Do you
All
mind
right,
reading them
so
out to me?
I can read them to you. Yeah. So one question is, will that hold true as people search AI instead of Google? Do you think as people start to use AI, you will be showing up in the search results?
So AI is a completely different tool. I still think the general public Googles. And when it comes to like Brentwood, Tennessee, there's a gentleman who is moving out here making a gym. He Googled Brentwood, Tennessee, and he found me. Started clicking on what I do, realized I know a lot about Brentwood, Tennessee. Oh, Jessie's a realtor too. I have that lead. That is a seven-figure dollar lead. So yeah, Google still works.
I love it. Okay. And then another question was, if your name is already searchable because of a previous career, is there a way to optimize your information that is on your social media?
If your social media has your previous career, let's say, I did health and fitness for the longest time. The only way to really kind of overpower that is to post more about your new career. It's the volume game.
Content.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Continue on, Jesse. And you guys, if you have questions, drop them in the chat and we'll hit Jesse up with your questions as we go through it. Or
Perfect.
if they have a burning desire, do you want them to just raise their hand and I'll call on them?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay, so if you have a burning desire before she gets off of a particular slide, raise your hand and I'll call on you. We'll keep some organization to this process. Okay, Jesse, continue.
Thank you. So on this next slide, I'm going to show you what the build reusable caption templates. So kind of what we were talking about with the text shortcuts. I'm seeing, okay, previous, just making sure, is with the caption templates, you can have something where a hook will always start, right? We're going to have a value and we're going to have a call to action. Each one of those could be a text shortcut. It just depends on who you are and what you want to do. So I would specifically do the value and call to action as a text shortcut. And on the next slide, I'll show you what my text shortcut looks like. So I just launched the Jessie approved membership. It's officially live. So for this text shortcut, all I have to do is type in my three letters. Again, it can be anything. It could be like 111. But I type in YTS, which is short for YouTube Shorts. It's just what my brain likes. I don't know what it is. But when I type YTS, this whole sentence in paragraph populates. Now you'll see that I kind of have my call to action right away. It's Jessie approved membership is officially live. It has local perks, hidden gems, discounts, and spots all around Middle Tennessee you probably didn't even know existed. Everything's waiting on my profile. Now, there's a little reason why I said everything's waiting on my profile, because the algorithm has gotten so good about people trying to go to a quote third party to sell their goods to get better commission that when you say link in bio or click the link, that it doesn't tend to push out your content as much. So I've learned that if I say everything's waiting on my profile, people know where to go, right? We've been on social media for years now. They understand where to go. I'll say follow for the best food, new openings, and local finds around Williamson County. Sometimes people need to be told what to do. If they're not already following me, well, I just told them to follow. And then if you want to see something cool around town, tag me. For me, I'm very involved in the community. I tell people, you're my eyes and ears. Help me. If you see something cool coming around, tag me in the comments. So I'm basically telling someone what to do. And then you'll see at the very bottom, I've got 5 hashtags. Always, you're going to want to have one location hashtag. So if I filmed that day in Brentwood, Tennessee, I'm always going to have hashtag Brentwood. And then the other 5 will pertain to what I do. Did I record at a restaurant? I'll probably keep food, or, I'll keep cocktail, or I'll mix it up with, the things to do. So you're always going to want to have one hashtag, because everything in your caption, even hashtags, are searchable on Google. That's why my face popped up so much when the guy Googled Brentwood. You'll just see my Instagram populate everywhere for Brentwood, because I'm tagging not only the location, but hashtag, and I'm talking about it. It's also in my captions. Even text on screen is read by Google. This is both on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. So you're getting three that immediately go up versus posting about something on Google once. Three is better than one. Do we have any questions on text shortcuts?
Give you guys a tip I heard someone say about a shortcut the other day. Because if, like, for example, I use ER for Epic Realty, so I don't have to type out Epic Realty all the time. So I just have ER. But then whenever I'm asking someone, hey, how was your ER visit? It says, how was your Epic Realty visit? Because it thinks I'm talking about Epic Realty. So he said he starts all of his text shortcuts with the letter Q, because the only words that really start with Q are QU something. So as long as your first letter of your shortcut isn't a U, it will automatically think that you're talking about something else. So he uses a Q. Someone else told me they use dot, 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 and then there are three letters. So, or two letters for their shortcut. I saw you have the number one after yours. But yeah, just a little pro tip, you may want to make it something so that your text doesn't automatically complete a word that you're not trying to say.
Right. That has happened too, where it's like, oh, you can type in the word review. It's like, oh, can you help me fill out a Yelp review? And I would type out review, and then next thing you know, my whole thing populates, and I go, no.
Yes, yes, exactly. So
So
make it so trick your tech shortcuts.
yes, yes, you can trick them there. I have a few that go, comment the word Franklin 615, and then I have it populate everything, Franklin 615. Because how often do you type the word Franklin and 615 together? Not often.
Right.
So, but yes, thank you for pointing that out. So the next slide, we're going to be talking about point, shoot, and post. This might be interesting for some people because they're used to setting up a tripod, getting the lighting, getting the audio. It doesn't work well on social media anymore. People want raw, authentic, no AI. Just give me the unedited version. I actually made a post yesterday. I went out to the Morning Glory Orchard. It's apple and peach farm. And I did my casual TikTok. And then, ironically, a year ago from yesterday, I was also at the Morning Glory Orchard, but I had my camera, I had my mic, and I went around, I did everything. I sat at home, I edited, I added captions, and I posted the same video from a year ago. And I woke up to a message today from a guy who's been following me for quite a while. And he goes, oh no, Jesse's posting highly edited things now. Like, I love what you do, but this just doesn't seem you. So just know that people enjoy your personality. They want to know what it feels like. So when I say it's point, shoot, and post, I want it to feel like we're FaceTiming. So you're going to have your phone, you're not going to have the audio, you're not going to have the light. We're just going to go out, hit record, and whether you mess up, you can either back out of it or you can re-record over it, or you can just keep talking. The amount of times I've stumbled or mistyped something, it's almost every day. But that just makes me show my personality to the person who's watching my content. So the point, shoot, post method. We're going to think about something or we notice something worth sharing. It could be a view, a moment, a market fact, a neighborhood gem. You're going to take your phone out. You're going to either snap a quick photo, which this could be used for TikTok later. We'll go over green screens and everything like that. Or you can snap a video, no ring light, like I said, no audio, just use your phone. Phones have amazing quality. No one's going to tell the difference because they just want to know you. And then we're going to use our text shortcuts to generate that caption. And you're just going to hit share. Done. It's easy. And that's how you can pump out more and more content. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, it's a volume game. It's a volume game written in big words on my whiteboard over here. Now, everything is content. So whether it's the house you just showed, the coffee shop near your new listing, a question a buyer asked that morning, it's all content. You just have to start seeing it that way. I mean, if you're going around selling a house, think about, okay, this is an amazing house. What's around here? Because someone's going to ask that. They're going to say, "Where's the nearest Kroger? What about the Publix? Is there a coffee shop near the Publix? If so, what kind? Is it a Starbucks or is it like a mom and pop place? Is there a pizza place nearby?" That's something too to start thinking about. And a little tidbit too for real estate. When I started realizing people aren't buying the house because it's the perfect four-bedroom house, they're buying it because it's the perfect community that they found for themselves. You start realizing content in a very different way. Like, yes, still showcase the house, but really showcase the area. That's what you're selling. You're selling that lifestyle. So, how to spot content every single day. Look around on every showing. Like I said, you can even pull up maps, like Google Maps, zoom out, see what's around there. That's content. You can go to the property itself if you have a listing. Go outside and say, "Hey, mile down that road, we've got Publix. Mile down that road, we have a new development that has a barber shop and a pizza shop and a donut shop." That's what people are looking for too. Listen to your clients. Every question a buyer or seller asks you is also a content idea. You can answer that on camera or in a caption. So I would probably say record a video when you're out for a walk, or you're walking around your new listing, or you're walking around a showing, or you're at your open house. Go like, "Oh, someone just came in today and they had an amazing question of what kind of countertop this is. I know it looks like quartz, but it could be granite." Those are small little things of like, "Oh, here's how to make content." You also want to drive your market. You want to understand new businesses opening. Is the road construction finally done? Did the price drop on a popular street? All of that is content. So when I say I started posting 3 times a day on TikTok, each one of those was just a video. And you can blabber on about it. That's okay. You kind of have to get past that cringe of talking in front of the camera. But you have to remember that people want to work with you because they trust you and that they feel like your personalities match. You also want to check your local events like farmers markets or festivals. Same thing with driving your market. Are there new restaurants opening up? The community content builds your local expert brand fast. When I say I get a lot of great views, when I say, "Hey, here's what's going on this week in Franklin, Tennessee," I pick out things that I enjoy because that's my personality. I go, "Oh, on Sunday, we're having a live band in Crockett Park. Starts at 6, but there's also going to be food trucks, which open up at 5." Those are small little informational tidbits that allow people who are looking to move here, already living here, or people just looking for something fun to do. That's all
Jessie, I
information.
have a question.
Yeah.
How do you keep your thumb on top of what is happening in your area? Do you subscribe to any specific pages like 615 events or things like that so that you are really, I mean, what a great idea. Like, even if you're thinking right now, like, I don't even know what to post. If I went into Eventbrite and just saw what was happening this weekend in my area, I could take each one of those things and make content about it,
Yeah.
whether I'm going to go to it or not, right? It's
Yeah.
content.
100%.
So do you
Yeah.
subscribe to anything specific or do you have a time block where you look for things to post about?
So I don't really time block anything. I'm more of a task oriented person. What I do is I subscribe to newsletters via email. So every day I'll get the Williamson source. They send out like 3 emails a day. It's a little excessive for me, but I'll open them up, super easy to read. Go, "Oh, that park concert's happening on Sunday. That's a big thing." And I'll just kind of make note, record a video about it, use my text shortcut, post it. People are always looking for different ways to absorb news. A lot of people don't like reading emails. So if you just take someone else's email and make it into a video, now you just hit a whole different audience and demographic. Did that
Call to
help?
action is really important too.
Yes.
Follow me for more information. Go to my bio. I mean, just posting just for the sake of posting, that's time wasting. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, just posting is great. Like I said, do your text shortcut that already says, follow me,
Yes.
hashtags. Boom, posted. Probably took you 5 minutes.
Love it.
Yes.
Tasha said in the chat box, this is great info, Jessie. I recently posted a video about an event in Murfreesboro, and it's gotten over 3,000 views, which is the largest views she's gotten thus far on TikTok. How about
Amazing.
that?
Amazing. See, people want to know what's going on in their community. Just be the news source for them. I also realize real estate agents are the big 411 when it comes to what's happening in the community, whether it's needing a plumber or a roofer or an event or where to host a birthday party. People look towards real estate agents for that. We wear a lot of hats. So yes, I think posting
Erica
events.
in Montana says on my TikTok, my video about a new restaurant got way more views and comments than anything else. People love burgers. And Jesse, you don't just highlight the restaurant. You order something off the menu. So A, you're supporting a local business. You're actually buying something. But then you take a video of you just getting in there and getting a big old bite of a
Yeah,
juicy burger with grease running down your chin. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. People want to see that, right?
yeah. And like my phone is really close to my face too,
It's
like we're
really close, that
FaceTiming.
burger. You can almost smell that burger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. People want to see your personality. Please don't be afraid to show it because when they meet you in person, they're already going to know you. You might not know a single thing about them, but they're going to know everything about you that you post online. So it's a great way. Post the events, post the food. Again, even in the caption, follow me for more things. Looking for a house, DM me. Just slide it in there.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
So we're going to kind of go over some more content stuff. This is community content, kind of what we were just talking about. You're not just selling the house, you're selling a lifestyle. So show people what it feels like to live in that market. Whether it's Franklin, Tennessee, Brentwood, Minnesota, and South Dakota. What's it look like in your community? Because that's where people want to live. You can't say like this is the best neighborhood, right? You can just show them why that neighborhood is the way it is. So going over best breakfast spots, what do you like? Go to that great breakfast spot or lunch spot. Are there local event recaps? Be like, oh, I just did the CMA Fest. It was awesome. I got to see da 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 da. Right? All of that stuff is content. You could do neighborhood walkthroughs, walk through a neighborhood, drive through a neighborhood, talk about it. This one has a pool. Looks like it's got cabanas too. New businesses opening nearby, right? Again, this is so big. This is free content. If you're going to subscribe to newsletters or anything like that, typically magazine articles, they'll receive that news first. So follow them. Just because you have read it doesn't mean everyone else has. I go over this all the time. Just because you might know something doesn't mean this another person knows it. Another weird tidbit that I've gotten over 1 million views for has nothing to do with real estate, has nothing to do with food or an event. It just goes over comparing two words, recurring and reoccurring. I've had over 1 million views on Instagram because so many people related to that. Probably brought a lot of people towards my profile and they realized that I live in Nashville and I'm a realtor, but I also showcase local things. Everything you do doesn't have to be pointed towards real estate. You are the 411. Make your page relatable. Your real estate content. If you're going to post a listing, do teasers, have fun with it. Be like, oh, I could see myself in this backyard. Look at this amazing fire pit. Can you imagine just sitting out here on a nice Tennessee summer, maybe even having some s'mores? People want to feel as if they're in that spot. Using the word imagine is wonderful for social media. Even your closing day wins. Hey, we've just found this couple of beautiful home here in Brentwood, Tennessee. And they like it because there's a pool here in the community and it's 5 minutes away from Costco. Those kinds of things. Market updates. Homes in specific zip code are selling under 14 days. If you're a numbers nerd, double down on that because someone else might also be a numbers nerd. And they might go, "Oh, I really like their content because they really dive deep." You have to remember that if you post what you like, it no longer becomes a job. You just kind of see it and do it. Another one is that personal content builds trust. When I said that my post about those two words have nothing to do with real estate, it's just personal content. I'm building the trust, showing people that I'm vulnerable. I didn't know the difference between those two words, so I shared it. So you could also post your morning routine or your favorite local coffee order. I am weird. I enjoy black coffee. I don't want to add milk to it or sugar. It's just black coffee. I'm sure there's someone else out there that is like me. Post about it. Post about what you like, why you love living in Tennessee, or insert your specific state. That's huge. Behind the scenes of your workday as well. Some people ask me about my workday, even time blocking. You should see my calendar. It's all over the board. Every day is different. Every week is different, but my workday is very fulfilling. You just kind of fill it out with things that you enjoy. Money will follow. Leads will follow. What you wish buyers knew before moving here is also big. Put yourself in their shoes. Post about it. Authenticity over perfection, always. They want to know you before they even meet you. Again, I get people coming up to me going like, "Oh my gosh, I love your TikTok. I love your Instagram." And I'm like, "Hi, what's your name?" Like, they know so much about me because I built that trust on the camera that they just feel at home, like we're already buddies. Let's see. One of the last content categories that's also very beneficial is the educational content builds authority, right? You can also post about buyer FAQs, seller tips, the process explainers. What I found was really interesting too is when you have a closing, be like, "Man, this closing was brutal. Here's why." And kind of talk about the process. Keep it within wraps, but talk about the process. People want to know, like, "Oh, was this an easy closing? Was it a hard closing? What'd you do differently? Or how'd you work around different puzzle pieces to make sure everything still stayed on track? What makes you different from another realtor?" Right? You have the world's number one rated realtor, and then you have you. What makes you different? Have that personality and explain to people that you have also the knowledge because it builds authority. Before I go on to the next slide, do we have any content category questions?
Not in the chat. Does anybody have a question for Jessie about content?
I do, Jesse. It's Alethea. I was gonna type in the messages. I think when I point and start shooting, it's great. And I have these all saved. My dilemma is when I go to post it, that dang caption or the words overlapping the video, and how close does it need to be co-resigning with the video capture content that I've gotten? I think I'm obviously overthinking it a lot. I love that you gave us an example. It looked like maybe like 3 or 4 sentences that you're kind of putting in there. Do you have like okay, you see this cafe and you're like, that's what I'm going to say. Look at this hidden gem of new cafe. Like, do you have something that kind of like you reference to that helps you get that description off the top of your head?
Yeah, so is this a caption or like a text on screen caption?
I'd say both. And that's where I think I
Okay.
might be overthinking it because, like you had mentioned, it's really nice to have both some overlap text and
Yeah.
then a description so that it helps with that SEO and that Google, and the algorithm.
Yeah,
So, yeah, any input would be nice. And thank you so much for this. It's been very, very amazing.
absolutely. Actually, I'll pop over to this next slide. So you kind of beat me to it. So there's basic SEO. that kind of goes over this, but we're going to talk about more in the TikTok side and Instagram side. Text on screen, very big, but there's a good way of doing it and a not so good way of doing it. So you want to have text on screen that's kind of stops a person from scrolling. It's more psychological than anything. Um, Having two lines, this goes way into depth, but I'll just share it. So like two lines, like new Mexican restaurant opening in Franklin, Tennessee. So just have that on two lines, text on screen, right on top or kind of on the bottom. Your captions of when you're talking in the video and how it'll like populate. Don't waste your time on captions. TikTok already auto captions and Instagram already auto captions. Pretty sure Facebook is doing it, if not getting ready to. So don't overthink the text on screen captions for when you're talking. And then the actual description, like of your video, that kind of caption, have a sentence or two of what you just did, right? I enjoyed a black coffee at Crema Coffee Roasters. What's your favorite coffee? Then do your text shortcut of call to actions and stuff like that with hashtags, right? Coffee, food, lunch spot, very generic, big, broad words that people search up all the time. Does that kind of help answer your question?
That was brilliant. Thank you, Jessie.
Yeah, you're welcome. So kind of going over that basic SEO, this is how that gentleman, the seven-figure lead, found me on Google. All of this stuff is indexed in your captions, whether you're tagging your location in every single video, you should be tagging a location. That should never be empty, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can tag a specific location, whether it was the restaurant you were at, which I highly suggest, or if you're recording at your house, just be like Brentwood, Tennessee, location, tag it every single time, wherever you're at. If you're in Huntsville, Alabama, and you're recording at home, tag Huntsville every time. Using your name, it's already populated no matter what kind of user you are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the socials. But also saying where you're at or what you're talking about is big, right? Like I said, new Mexican restaurant opening up in Franklin, Tennessee. That tells Google, oh, Franklin, Mexican food. People are naturally searching up Mexican restaurant near me. They look it up, your stuff could pop up. Instagram and TikTok are now clickable search items in Google. This is how you can outbeat people who just use Google. Searchable captions and hashtags. All of your hashtags, which you get 5 of them on TikTok and Instagram. You need to be using all 5. Sometimes I'll see someone use hashtag Pilates. And I go, what about hashtag breathing, hashtag Franklin, hashtag workout, hashtag exercise, hashtag Pilates? You know, having all 5 in there increases your searchable rate on Google or whenever AI becomes searchable like that too. So in your searchable caption, having that 4-bedroom home in Franklin, Tennessee, under 500K. And then you also have some very big things like hardwood floors, open kitchen, backyard perfect for summer. You don't need to go big on this. You can also have your text shortcut, you know, DM me for a private tour, and then have your 5 hashtags. I also would stick to very generic hashtags. If you're posting on TikTok, you don't want to go hashtag best coffee in the world. Hashtag coffee. Don't make them long. People get lost. Another tidbit too, which you'll see on TikTok, you might be able to see it on Instagram, is for TikTok, you only want to use a hashtag that has over 100,000 uses. That means it's a very well-known hashtag and people use it often. Use it. Ooh. Do we have any questions on hashtags or kind of searchable stuff?
We do have a question in the chat, not necessarily about that, but well, it is tied to it. So Emily Wattenbarger says, what if I'm in a smaller town, but right next to me is a big city that a lot of people move to? I always want to put Cleveland/Chattanooga Realtor because who the heck wants to move to Cleveland? And Chattanooga always has cool events and stuff going on, and Cleveland is meh. But I'm a Cleveland native and know everything about it. So, Jessie, that would be kind of like, you're right next to Nashville,
Mhm.
but you're in Brentwood. So similar, but Brentwood is not meh.
Right.
Brentwood's pretty darn cool. But how would you recommend that to Emily?
Start becoming the number one person for your meh town.
Yeah.
Do hashtag for me, right? I'm doing hashtag Brentwood. There's not over 100,000 words or hashtags on that. But when someone does want to move to Brentwood, again, guess whose face pops up? So you should be doing your hashtag Cleveland in every post. If you're in that area, if you're in Chattanooga, hashtag Chattanooga. Even in your searchable caption, just be like, 20 miles outside of Chattanooga is Cleveland. Have that be in your text shortcut that's repeatable because someone might want to move to Chattanooga and then go, oh, we can't really afford Chattanooga. Let's go out to Cleveland. Or let's go check out this place. Someone said that we could go look at Cleveland. Does that
Great
help?
tip, Jesse. I love that tip. So if as long as your text shortcut, you put in that text shortcut, Cleveland is 20 minutes from Chattanooga, from downtown Chattanooga, the people looking for Chattanooga is also going to see your post.
Right.
Would you do both hashtags every time? Hashtag Cleveland, Tennessee or TN and then hashtag Chattanooga in every post? You get 5.
Yeah. I mean, if you get 5, great. Go ahead and do that. Sometimes I'll do hashtag Brentwood, hashtag Franklin because they're on a weird little line with each other. It's more the
Mm-hmm.
merrier.
Love it. Emily Wattenbarger, did that help? Yes, thanks. Okay.
So this is kind of that point, shoot, and post method that we're going to go back to. So the full workflow is you spot the idea, whether it's in the email or a friend told you, or you saw it scrolling on social media. You take out your phone, you tell people what's going on, you use your caption, you tag locations, you tag any other individual people that maybe you worked with, or maybe you worked with another realtor, tag them, and then you post it and then just redo it. Keep doing it over and over again. These are things that make volume important. You need to be the number one star within your own community. People don't know about you until they see you on social media. And if you're on TikTok and you're on Instagram and you're on Facebook, now they just found you on 3 different platforms. That's huge because they might not see one post from, last week on TikTok, but they might see it on Facebook. The algorithm is amazing. There's no specific time to post anymore. There's no specific ways to post. It's just be your authentic self, caption it, tag it, and post it. So I made up some action steps for you guys this week. Really setting up your link in bio. Again, I use beacons.ai. It's cheap. By cheap, I mean free. It's easy to use. When you update it in the Beacons side, it updates in all of your link in bios on all social media platforms that you have it on. Create a free guide or lead magnet. I use gamma.app. It's free to use, and you can make some amazing free guides in there. Talk to ChatGPT, say, hey, make me a buyer's guide with this, this, and this. Copy the prompt on over to Gamma. It'll make you a PDF, and then you can set that on up within your link in bio and get a lead by asking for an email. You can set up 3 text shortcuts, whether that's a buyer shortcut, a seller shortcut, a follow me shortcut. You can make these simple. You can take kind of what I have, repurpose it into your own way. Then I want you to post 1 piece of content per day. This is daunting to some. I get it. You're like, man, one post per day. This is something too that, I had said to myself 3 times a day on TikTok, it's a volume game. If you only have one person posting a day, then you're getting out one post a day versus someone else who's posting once a week. You got 7 posts, they have 1. And volume beats that out. Add location and hashtags to every post. Use all 5 hashtags and add that location. Huge. So, like I said in the previous slide, you can take what I'm doing and make it your own. If you want more local content ideas, feel free to give me a follow on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's all the same, at Jessie Tigges. Pay attention to what I do and how I film. It feels like we're FaceTiming. It's very real. Next week, we'll talk about how I record. I do record natively within TikTok. So if you have a different way other than TikTok, we can kind of go over that. But this is going to be the fastest and easiest way. And I've tried dozens of methods. I also have my Jessie approved membership. So you can see my funnel live in action. If you're watching my content, you'll see my caption. You'll be then redirected to my profile, clicking on my link, getting my Jessie approved membership. If you also need help building your system, I do offer one-on-one consulting for your content strategy, looking over what your profiles currently do and how to increase the flow in a funnel that's set up right for you and your business, whether you're a realtor or embroidery. Now, you've got this. So point, shoot, and post, and just keep doing it. If you can post once a day, great. If you end up posting 3 times a day, great. If you ended up posting once a week, well, you're probably doing better than last week. So I'm going to sneak back to this back slide, and then I'll take some extra questions too. So
Emily Wattberger says, thank you, Jessie. Emily says, do you do a newsletter weekly that goes out or monthly that goes out to the people that give you their email?
Not yet. So I have hundreds of emails that I've gotten through my funnel, but I don't have a specific system just yet for that. I have sent out a few emails regarding my membership because that's a lead generation. I don't have anything just yet for real estate, but at the very bottom of all my emails, I have my real estate right there.
So let me ask you this, Jessie. I know we have 2 more weeks coming up where you're going to get down into the specific social media platforms. One of the things, can you just give everybody just a really quick tip? If you had to record, and would you do it from your camera on your iPhone or would you do it somewhere else to make it easy?
So one of the easiest ways to record is going to be natively within TikTok. If you don't have TikTok, please download it, especially for next week, and just kind of learn about it. You'll start seeing that it's very easy to record inside TikTok. And then once you post on TikTok, it'll automatically save to your photos or gallery. Then you can take that on over to Instagram, copy and paste your caption from TikTok, tag your location, cross post to Facebook, and you're off on your way. You already hit 3 social media platforms and only recording once.
So that was the tip that I wanted you to share, because when you told me that, it was like an aha moment. I was recording content and I was using my camera to do it, right? I go to video, record myself, record the store I was in, do all of that. And then I was having to go to an editing app on my laptop, send my videos from my phone to my laptop so I could edit and merge and delete and shorten and lengthen and add music and all the crap. And so because of all that, I was avoiding doing content because it was work. It was work, Jessie. And you said, if you do it in TikTok, there's no work. I was like, oh my God, what?
Yes. So record natively within TikTok. Do not worry about music. Do not worry about your captions on the screen. Just focus on posting. That's it for this next week.
Content, click, post. What does yours say? What are your 3 words?
Point, shoot, post.
Point, shoot, post.
Yes.
Everybody, point, shoot, post. You know what? I'm going to do a quick point, shoot, post in TikTok right now. Thanking you for this amazing training, Jessie, and I'm going to tag you.
Thank you. Yes, tag me. Please, I always tell people tag me in anything.
Does anybody else have a question or a comment for Jessie? We got 2 minutes left. Steven said he used to use CapCut, but he got a ton more views on single angle videos than he did on those.
Single angle videos.
Steven, what are you talking about? Come off mute and talk to us.
Okay, so I was doing like Vicky was, where I was just recording straight on my phone. And on the iPhone, it would not let me flip my camera while I was doing the video. So I was trying, like I did a
Yeah.
couple of restaurants down in Florida where I was trying to highlight like the food they had there while I was talking about it. And so to do those videos, I had to record my video. Then I recorded a video, put it in CapCut, layered it over the other video, cut the audio off so that it would switch to that while I was talking about the food or whatever. And those still got decent views, and I'm still just started doing content recently as a new agent, but those got decent views. But ones where I just was like at a listing, or I was just walking down the street and pulled up my camera, pointed it towards me and started talking, I got probably 3 or 4 times the views on those than one where I like put the music in the background, had the camera switching to the video that I had layered over it and all of that, that I put probably 10 times more work into than one
Yes.
where I actually just pulled out my camera. Was like, hey, this is what's going on right now. What do you think about this?
Yes. So even on TikTok itself, if you're recording, always start your videos off with your face because immediately that's what stops them. You became the number one person that they associate the video with. I've done videos where I start out with my back camera, people swipe, it's nothing. But when they see my face, instantly they go, oh, where's Jessie at now? But when I'm recording with my front camera, what I can do on TikTok is I can double click it and it immediately switches to the back camera. I still talk into the audio on the phone and talk about where I'm at and where I'm going. Smooth.
So
You said you, oh, I'm sorry.
you're going to do a more in-depth training about that, which is great. But
Yes.
what I love is that you told me that when you're in TikTok, you can like stop recording, start recording, stop recording, start recording, and then whenever you're ready to post it, it just puts it all together for you.
Yes. So I actually just went out and recorded a video at Morning Glory Orchard, but I brought a videographer with me just to show people my whole entire process from start to finish and how I just made a TikTok video. So that's currently being edited by him because I don't want to take the time to do that. And that'll be up on YouTube. Just not sure when, but I'll tell Vicky and she'll hopefully be able to blast it all out.
Thank you. Somebody was starting to have a question there a second ago.
And
I was, but you said she's doing an in-depth discussion on that later. I was trying to find out how she does that flip around.
yeah, double tap the screen. So if you're on TikTok and you
Mhm.
click record, let's say you're on the front screen, just double tap like the middle of the screen. It'll flip.
I had no idea. Thank you.
Nice
You're welcome.
tip, Jessie, with all the tips.
I have one quick
Jessie, take a
question.
look at the chat box. Mindy edited her
Yes.
thing. What do you think?
Uh,
Better?
Mindy, can you delete everything that's like kind of between your head? And then maybe add like that could be totally fine. Maybe even add like the check mark up higher or something. But I think it's fine leaving the dead space there. Or making you guys bigger, getting rid of the check mark, and then on the move with Mindy and like you can delete all that.
Okay,
And just
perfect.
make you guys bigger. Delete
Okay,
the check
thank
mark.
you.
Love it. Love it.
Nice.
Okay. Which
Anybody have a
platform
burning?
did you use for that, Mindy?
I didn't hear your question, Heike.
What did you use to create that sticker?
I just put a regular picture of me and Melissa in ChatGPT and told it what I wanted it to say. And it sent me a whole bunch of different designs, and I just picked the one. But the one I posted at the beginning while we were waiting everybody to come in had like a lot of stuff on. So Jesse's like, make it very simple.
Yeah.
And so then I just went back into ChatGPT. I was like, make this more simple. Take out this, this, and this, and this. And then it gave me that. So
Are you wanting this to be a window cling?
Yes, and that was my other question. At the bottom of your little screen right here, it says "Steal the structure, not the business." So definitely, I don't want to steal. Like, I don't like. What do you
Where
mean
are
by
you
that?
at again?
Panama City, Florida.
Take it.
Okay, perfect.
It's yeah. I mean, if you were in Brentwood, I'd probably be like,
Don't
we're
take
gonna have a
it.
sticker battle.
Hey,
Got it.
this is
Okay.
Erin. Sorry, I just had one quick question. So one of the things I'm noticing about a lot of some of the branding that I'm seeing that in common with you, both yours, Jesse, and then also with Mindy and Melissa's, is that your faces are on those. Do you guys recommend that? I mean, is that something that you have to have? Because I just recently did some work on my brand. I actually published it this morning on across Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and it does not have my face in it. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out, should I have done something different? I feel like my face was plastered all over everything. I was the one who asked the question earlier about the previous career. I was in law enforcement previously, but my position had been pretty high profile in a few of the different locations. So I don't necessarily need my face all over everything. But I would like to kind of have my brand. I can actually share my the kind of mock-up that I have if you guys can give me some insight on it.
Sure. So a little background on my sticker. I didn't make it. A graphic designer from Alpha Graphics, she DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Hey, we made you something. Come pick it up." And I went there and she goes, "Hey, we made you these." And she pulled it out of a tube and it was 48 of these window clings. And she goes, "I thought, you do such a great job for the community. Like you could hang these up at the businesses you go to." And now I charge $100 to put up a sticker on their window.
Hey, Jesse, I've got to run. I've got an appointment at 1:30. I'm going to make you the host. If you want to stay on
Cool.
longer, you can, and you could just close this out whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Thanks, Vicky.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording and